Hey, I'm out here on a tract that I just listed in a gated community. It's 3.5 acres, and I want to talk to you about some considerations for moving into a subdivision that has an HOA and also that's raw land that you plan to build on, maybe years down the road. Kind of a checklist of things you're going to want to do here in the mountains to make sure that property is buildable. My name is Jon Galbreath, Higher Ground Properties, Western North Carolina. My contact information is in the description. You can reach out to me anytime. So first thing is HOAs. If you've never lived in one, many HOAs are great. I actually agree with HOAs, the concept of an HOA in a subdivision where you've got, pretty small lots, your neighbors are fairly close, and your neighbors directly impact the value of your property. If they're setting up a junkyard, it's going to devalue your property. So HOAs in that regard are a good thing, in my opinion. It protects your real estate investment for years to come. Now, when you are considering looking, at a property, you want to have a conversation with as many people in the community as you can. And I highly recommend reaching out to the HOA president, reach out to the treasurer, anybody else you can get a hold of, and just talk to them. You want to make sure that they're reasonable people. You're going to let them know that you're a reasonable person, you're going to be easy to deal with. And, those are the type of communities, that you want to live in. Oftentimes, the flip side of that, you see it sometimes, is you get these people that are overly nitpicky, especially, someone that hadn't had a job in 30 years, and she'll usually have wine and a big hat and oftentimes a golf cart and a little bitty dog. If you see her coming, 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to run. But go ahead and talk with her anyway, and maybe she's the 1 in 10 that you can actually deal with. But that's it's definitely something you want to do. Go knock on some doors, walk around, see if there's people walking in the community, talk to them, see how they are, and you'll just get a good feel, see if you like the vibe. Now, some other things you need to consider on the building side. Okay, you got to know that these gated communities, they're going to have covenants and restrictions, and you're going to want to get those from your realtor. So you're going to want to look at things in there, like what is the minimum square footage that you can build? Is there an architectural review board? What is the fee to run your plans by the architectural review board? Do they charge an impact fee in case the construction vehicles do damage to the roads? So you need to know all those things. And how fast do you need to have the home built? Is it 1 year from start to completion? So things like that. Oftentimes I get people, they say, hey, can I park an RV on my property while we're building? Well, some communities can, some communities you can't. And that's why you need to, have your whole list of questions. Reach out to the HOA directly and have those conversations with them. So that's very important. Now, some other things that you need to do. Now, this is before you have a builder. Oftentimes, if you're working with a builder, right off the bat, the builder is going to do all these things for you. But if you're going to buy a property with a realtor and then you're not going to build for years down the road, here's some things you're going to want to consider. Make sure that there is electricity at the property. And if there's not, what's it going to take to get electric to that lot? And also, is the community on a community well and community sewer, or are you going to have to install a well and install a septic system? So the most important one there is going to be your septic system. It's going to be based on the number of bedrooms, which is related to the number of people that the house can accommodate. And that's how much water is going to be used. And so they got to make sure that the ground is going to be able to hold that septic system. And what type of septic system? So a conventional septic is going to be the most affordable. Then you've got drip systems. If it can't take a conventional system, it's going to have to take a drip system. So 3 bedrooms, you're looking at over $30,000 for that one. So that one gets expensive. So have a soil scientist come out and do your septic inspection. Soil scientist I use, he charges about $1,500 to $1,800 in most cases for lots like this, and he'll do everything. He'll run it through the county, get your well and septic permit, and He'll handle everything for you. Now, once you are good with all the restrictions, and once you know that that property perked and we'll take that septic system, then you'll be good to go to close. So those are just the most important things up front. And the mountains here, I've run into quite a few property owners over the years who didn't do those things, and when they did come around to build, hey, that property is not going to support a septic system, so they wasted all that money, and it's hard to sell that property too. So oftentimes they become stuck with a lot that's not too valuable. So I hope this information's been helpful. Again, I'm Jon Galbreath, Higher Ground Properties, Western North Carolina. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.